When the button is pushed, there's no whatever the line is. And everyone here is too young to know that song. We're streaming. Welcome back to another stream of Under Construction. I'm your host Ellis, otherwise known as the Admiral. With me I have Goya and Lafayette. Yes, there they are.
Hi guys.
They're visiting.
Hi.
From, the other side of the room.
Lafayette smells like feet.
Maybe your feet just smell like Lafayette.
No, it smells like feet. Smell him.
He smells like dog to me.
He smells like feet too.
He smells like dog.
He smells like feet.
Okay. But feet smell a lot like dog, apparently.
Did you put it in the chat?
No, I do need to do that. Thank you for the reminder.
You're welcome. It's an ugly jacket.
Be nice to the jacket. What's poppin', says Mopac82.
Hi.
Not much. We have a little bit to do out here today. Hello, Sherry Dunbar. I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing alright.
Are you doing okay? How's your foots?
My foot still hurts.
Foot still hurts. There's the Goya foot update. I need to smooth this edge out. That's the first thing we need to do. The first thing I need to do is switch to route layer. Because we don't want to be doing the wrong thing right away. Right away.
Is this supposed to be sand?
Yeah, it's sand. It's sandy sand. It's sandy cheeks. The southern serves the south again. The southern allegedly serves the south. I don't know if the southern serves the south, I'm going to be honest. Howdy, Brian.
Hey, boy.
I'm going to round this off, and then I'll just move the trees to places that make more sense. He's got his bone.
He got his bone.
Alright, let's put in there. Where's Rangili? Rangili, who knows? It's Thursday night. Rangili, as in Ian's dad, might be playing at Nickani's tonight. You never know. Or he might be over in, he might be down the road at Strings, playing there. It is Veterans Day. Thank you for the reminder. It is the anniversary of the end of the Great War. And this is... Your grandfather or your great-grandfather?
My grandfather.
How old was your grandfather?
On my dad's side?
Yeah. When was your grandfather born? I don't see how that's possible.
No, fine, World War II.
Okay, I was gonna say I don't think you'd have a grandparent that served in World War I.
I don't think I have a great-grandfather who fought in the Great War, though.
That makes more sense. Insert Sabaton reference. Yes, because Sand. No, I understood why you made the Sandy and Rangeley reference. I just went with it because, what else are you gonna do? I'm not gonna sit here and be like, aha, Sandy and Rangeley, I get it. I mean, I could do that. I probably would do that under different circumstances.
Yeah.
I just need to patch up these holes in the forest. This is an area that nobody's really going to see up close. Maybe if I go through with my ultimate plan of stringing a boat line. Hey, 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 says the D59 lad. Welcome, comrade. I think you succeeded in making the joke. I just didn't have a jokey response to it. I'm sorry that I disappoint. Yeah, shout out to Sabaton, of course. They're coming out with a second World War I album sometime soon. But they're also... God damn it. They're also... rather, worth shouting out what I was trying to get to is the Great War channel, which is still around. And they may not be producing content right now. I don't think they are. Because, their time has come and gone. But... oops, that's not sand. The Great War Channel chronicled the events of World War I week by week for 4 years. which is one of the coolest things I've ever borne witness to. And I unfortunately didn't. I wasn't on the train for the whole thing. I found out after the fact, I think in 2019 or so, and I binge watched the entire series, all 4 years worth of videos.
Try to get me to watch it.
Yeah, tried to entice you into watching it. Uh, what route are you building? I'm working in Tolbrand as always. Uh, but for those who need the zoomed out view, this is Tolbrand as it stands. I can show off the map later if anyone cares to when we get to the end of the episode. We have a staging yard here, and then 15 miles of main line along the coast, 7 miles of main line up to Mason Valley there, and also the Volga Mountain Trail that lines in there. Hi, Shoreline. I was about to say that's the first person you've been excited to see, but Shoreline is the first person that I can see that called you out specifically. So, you are my valued guest. Okay, so this area is smoothed out.
Citizens of Tolbrand here.
I mean, yeah, that's if in another timeline where I never did the Iron Horseman Chronicles, I have a Discord server that's just about under construction, and the one of the ranks is citizen, Charlie. Hey D59 lad, what is it? Why are you haying? Oh, the shoreline has arrived. I say hey. Are there any 3-foot, I can't read that, 3-foot military stuff in trains? That's a good question. What 3-foot military stuff is there? I mean, other than White Pass, I can't think of, well, okay. Barring, I'm thinking in a very US-centric way here, but also, oh, I'm sorry about that short line. Also, I guess there weren't, when I think about, thank you, when I think about narrow gauge in other parts of the world, I tend to think about Cape gauge and 2-foot gauge. Obviously, 2-foot gauge, thanks Hemlock, but nothing White Pass trains and military. Yeah, I know, it's just, actually, if you really dig into like the old San Juan trains stuff, I believe there is versions of the Rio Grande stuff that went to the White Pass. Yeah, there it is, the K-28s. But point is, I don't tend to think about 3-foot gauge that is not American. Grid spot right there. Although so I'm gonna plug the big areas, and then I'm gonna come through with my special tool for stuff like this, although since it was pointed out, I might as well just fix it. I had all of last week off from school, and the second day I get back, I was like, oh, that blows. What are you, just a cold or the flu or whatever? White Pass K-28 for the Aurora Lines. Oh, the Aurora Lines is the thing that you've been working on with the 2A2 tank engine, yeah? Able to track plan in 2019 before. Well, this is it. This is, well, actually, in fairness, no. You know what? No, I haven't. No, this is a quarry. I'm gonna fill it with. It's just gonna be dirt, or it's a gravel pit, so sand and gravel. Bad cold. That blows. I need the edge of this. You know what? I just saw. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ah, ah. Need to put the ballast down here. Listen, say what you will about 2A2 tank engines. Brian just made one, apparently on popular request. Oh, that's for my British Railway. Yeah, I was really wondering how the 2A2 tank engine and a K-28 shared space, but I guess they don't. Let's get this in here. We're gonna need to fill in the edges. 1968 hump yard module. Ooh, cool. Would it be a functioning hump yard, or would it just look cool? I was gonna say the track map, if you can call it that I've made in 2019 exclusively, is the modular base that I made. for the Iron Horseman modular, which didn't really go much of anywhere because I got lazy.
Oh, look
Uh,
at those poor trains.
Someone suggested I put a wreck scene here. That was actually really fun to build. Uh,
He said.
Tiny narrow gauge engines. When I think of the tiny narrow gauge British stuff, I think of like those barely larger than ride-on trains that they also turned into like armored trains. 464Ts. Well, yeah, they did. Then again, I mean, 464T is just a commuter tank. I'm saying that's different than. Oh, sorry. You're just harping on the 282 tank thing. It's just weird to need a 282 uh, tank engine. You know, I mean, there are Mikado tanks out there, mostly for logging service, um, which I know that there are a couple that run, or there's at least one that run. I would love to see that in person. I feel like given a long enough time scale, a wheel arrangement or a gauge will receive just about every wheel arrangement you could possibly think of. Because, you know, it's just diversification, right? If you've got more traffic, you need more different kinds of engines typically. Although, yeah, I mean, yeah, even if something starts really late, well, you're not going to have like the early experimental like if you have a network, like say a 3-foot network that starts in 19, you know, 29, you're not going to have any 420s rolling around, but you will get all of the like I guess more contemporary models is what I'm thinking of. The different uh, the different wheel arrangements that were around towards the end of Steam in a mainline capacity or even on a short line capacity. It's just I'm trying to rule out all of the wackadoodles that came and went in the early days of Steam, where it was just experimentation, anyone's game. Who knows? Hmm? You're a wackadoodle. Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
No. Well, you're my wackadoodle. Okay.
Yeah.
So I am definitely getting sloppy uh, with this. I'm gonna need to bring the grass in later, just to fill it all in here. And this embankment is definitely not too steep as to require a different texture than just grass. Although, over here it is. Over here it's getting there. So what were we using for the steeper embankments? This. All's forest floor darker. I need to slide this over a little more. And a railway around the times a large regional. The Providence and Worcester, but it's 3-foot gauge. Did we ever find out about doing that Polar Express?
No, I think there's just too much going on right now.
Yeah, that's fair. So, I didn't even realize they were still doing it. The Province of Worcester has done a Polar Express since almost certainly before I was little. But I remember it from when I was little, and I figured, oh, G&W came in and no more fun times were had. But apparently they do still do it. I'm not entirely sure. They seem like they have quite a few coaches based on the selection. I'm not sure how many coaches they have. I always thought their train was fairly limited. But maybe it's that they only had a couple of coaches painted in Providence and Worcester, and the other ones I just can't think of right now. There are probably several Polar Expresses and trains, not just the movie one. I bet there were Polar Express and North Pole Express reskins of certain engines. If we had engines from the Valley line in trains, which I think some of them we do, it would be great to have a North Pole Express reskin of those if you really wanted to do like proper full-on Valley line. The big uproar when the GNW. Yeah, no, I vaguely remember that, and I'm surprised the answer was no. We're gonna keep doing it. It made for really funny STB filing. Wait, okay, hold on. Please elaborate on this because I didn't know there was an STB filing related to the Polar Express. How often does the Polar Express show up in an STB filing? I know yeah, I mean, G&W is sometimes no fun zone. What is it? W's. Okay. Uh, so that texture is done. Um, what am I gonna fill in here with? I have some edge stuff. And just got me a British narrow gauge engine kick. Yeah, well, they had some interesting stuff. That's for sure. Wait, what did we use for the dividing line when these guys were level? Oh, nothing. Okay, fair enough. We're gonna have to fill this in with spline. In fact, I should probably be doing the spline first. That way it's more noticeable where I'm missing texture. But, oh well. I came over here to do the peninsula stuff, and here we are doing not that. But whatever, we're getting work done. This is one of the first episodes that I can remember. Oh, see ya, Brian. This is one of the first episodes I can remember where I ate before the episode, so I'm not going to be in dire need of food and closing down the shutting off my camera so I can eat something while you guys watch a trolley roll around. Which I understand that people like that. The New England region, run up some XP and W guys is probably why the Polar Express was kept. Okay. Um, yeah, the P&W, because it was I don't know what to call it. Just it escaped from the clutches of like it was absorbed by the well, it was absorbed by the New Haven back in the day, and then the Penn Central, and then I believe it went into Conrail, and then it became its own thing. And it's basically like it escaped from the clutches of the conglomerate large railroads, and so they've always been very. They've always had a. I don't know what to call it, but an outsized community engagement sort of feeling. Like they are a relatively small railroad, but they have a fairly decent presence in the community. At least from my perspective. Then again, I'm a foamer, so uh, whatever that means, that it looks big to me. I just don't see like similar small lines in the region doing the same thing. I'm still angry that P&W RS3 canceled the order because it was back ordered. That's a shame. P&W RS3s looked really neat. I'm gonna be honest. They had the creamsicle scheme, and it's got to be one of my favorite like short line paint schemes. Is that creamsicle scheme? Oh, whoops! I missed a spot. I missed a couple spots. Give me the. Oh wait, I don't want ballast. I want something else. Airba. Oop, small, 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 small. Teeny weeny weeny. I also want to get rid of this sand there because that doesn't belong there. We'll have to fill that in with grass later. Remember, if anybody is playing the route or, for example, or playing the route or watching me do this, if you guys have a comment about like, hey, you missed this or you should do this, feel free to just drop me a line because I will put it on my list. It's like, oh hey, you missed a patch of grass here. You should go back and put grass there. I'll go back and put grass there. Like, it's I want to have a good product and I want to fill in all the holes. So letting me know where the holes are is a step in that direction. I think I should have an electrical box here next to these signals. So I'll go and grab that in a second because I remember having it next to some of the other ones. I also might have been using them as I could have been using them as named objects to identify the control points. PW schemes, yes, yes, absolutely. All right, fill that one in. We need to go along this edge here. You missed adding the statue honoring me at Lionsgate. Yeah, okay. Sure, hold on. Is there like a poop emoji on the download station? Sorry, that's too mean. That's too much. I'm not gonna do that. Grab that. Fill this in. I'm not forgetting the electrical box. I'll have to go back to that. I'm gonna need to like mute my Steam notifications. I barely respond to people on Steam anyway. If somebody wants to talk to me, use Discord. I know that's like, you know, that is so different than what I used to be like, where it's like, oh, message me anywhere, message me whatever. Uh, but you know, it's so much less annoying to not be getting Steam messages in the middle of this thing, and it's partially my own fault because I'll friend anybody on Steam. I used to do it sort of out of practicality because I would friend anyone on Steam because I needed the cameras for the podcast. But now I don't use Steam cameras for the podcast anymore. I just use Railcams until we, of course, get cease and desisted by Virtual Railfan, but that hasn't happened yet. So, I used to do it just out of a matter of practicality, and now I just whatever. I'll get the stuff. I'll watch whomever, listen to whomever, or friend whomever. I'm not watching anybody anymore, like I said. What am I saying? Okay. Okay, let's sort ourselves out. Let's let the brain settle for a minute and discuss why I'm doing this in this color instead of something that represents a steeper hill. And the answer is I don't really know. I feel like I should be doing a steeper hill, but I also want to be a little more uniform. And this area I've definitely gotten lazy with. So, I'm just trying to get this done. But it'll be okay. I never did this side because I knew I'd be getting in here with trees, and not because I figured I needed a different texture. At least that's my take on past me's actions. And past me's motives. I think I can totally get away with this. The other thing is, yeah, once we're done with all this stuff, I need to go through and I need to start filling in the gaps with just dropping dirt from orbit. In fact, I should put that on my list, and I will. Goals, scenery. Filling in holes using, what is this tool called? The fill grid tool. So I'll put that on the bottom of my priority list. We'll come back to it at some point. We'll get there. I added another thing to my priority list, which is beginning to seed the industries. Now, I am a little frustrated that I can't get Quick Drive to work how I expect it to work, but I just deleted that and said I would leave it as is for now anyway. But that precludes me from doing a lot of the stuff that I could be doing with regard to just placing stuff and running it when I'm not actively doing the video making thing. So, not that I have time to do that, but I wish. Wishful thinking is the phrase I'm looking for. Let's just do that. Okay. At least these are being different sizes when I put them down instead of being different sizes when I move them around. Orbital Dirt, that's my new company in Kerbal Space Program. Let me tell you, it's dirt cheap. Okay, so let's finish painting. Pretty little pictures, happy little trees. So, I've said before I'd like to think I'm the Bob Ross of this, although I definitely am not. I'm not zen enough to be the Bob Ross of anything. I feel like that takes a lifetime of practice, or at least expelling all of your time, all of your anger in like the span of however many years he was a drill sergeant. Because at that point you've got no more left to give, and I feel like you just, you're left with serenity. And there we go. Okay. We will have to do grass for a lot of that. Let's do grass over here for now. I could spend hours doing this, and you guys know that. I've spent whole episodes just working on little areas like this, although, towards the end of the under construction videos, I give you Jackson Pollock. Towards the end of the under construction videos, before I started doing them as streams, well, before it went on hiatus, I would try to mandate doing something else at like the hour mark of the 2 hours. Now we just have a whole long list of stuff. I don't know what we're going to get to. I try to get the top of the list and go down. Although well, actually what I try to do is take, one thing from each category. Fill this in, fill that in. Alright. So we get to the end of this here. I think there's one spot that... Oops. I wasn't holding shift. It's important to hold shift when you're doing this. Pro tip. There was one more spot that needs... I could put ballast there and just cover it up. There we go. We can fill in down here. I don't know what sort of state of mind Jackson Pollock was in when he made his paintings. I don't know if, like, famously they were fits of rage or something. I don't know what I think about being a Jackson Pollock, or even what I would think. So what you're saying is, for your license, shout and yell at others. Well, only if it's sanctioned. Here's the thing. It's not like he's going off on people. It's not like, as a drill sergeant, he was just going off on people that were walking by him on the sidewalk. He had a purpose for his anger. And no, this is not a real thing. But I think, assuming that it is, we have to go off of, like, yeah, it's a valid release mechanism, which, in fairness, I guess it really is. But don't do it at random people, or people that don't deserve it, or at least people that aren't, ready for it. If you're losing your nut, but you're in your therapist's office, that's different than just doing it in a 7-Eleven, or like the Wendy's drive-thru at the person behind the counter. Just angrily yelling about, like, how your life is bad, and the person just gives you the old, "Sir, this is a Wendy's." Yeah, that sounds about right. That's what happens when you lose control of your life, your facilities. Okay. I need the very thin grass lines to fill this area in, and I keep itching my darn nose. I need to fill this area in too. Am I already tired? I even kind of slept in this morning, as one can when you have to get up for work anyway. I was just real lazy about it, But this area is cleared. I think I want to use this for over here as well. Just to make, again, being lazy, just to make life easy. But you know what? If you're a drill sergeant, you go ahead and yell your head off, and then you won't have to for the rest of your life, I guess. Maybe you won't be able to. Maybe that's what he's not telling everyone. Maybe the secret isn't that he didn't want to yell at anyone anymore. He was just yelled out. He starts yelling, he just passes out. That's what happened. I'm making this up. This is not a real thing, just to say. I got informed of a wholly incorrect thing today. Talking about like, oh, I'm just saying things. Let me put the disclaimer on it that it's not real. Please don't report this as fact at any point ever. Uh, but similar to that, I mean, there's stuff that just floats around. You see like a meme that's circulating, or like a video with an explanation or something, or like a screenshot of Twitter, and it's like, oh, did you know that uh, the one from earlier was, did you know that the uh, that Subway Surfers was made because the guy had lost his son, who like skateboarded into a subway station and got hit by the train, and it's total bogus. It's not real. It I I don't know where that came from. Someone just decided one day that they were gonna put that on the internet, and everyone else was like, ah, yes, this seems true. Let's do that. That's tragic. I wanna spread that message. Uh, and I don't know when that was. That must have been a couple of years ago that like hit the presses, so to speak. But I finally heard it today, and I'm like, that's that's setting off my like sus alarm. Uh, and so I googled it, and sure enough, no, that's not true at all. It's not even remotely true. Uh, the guy, I actually found a 20-minute long video of the guy talking about like Subway Surfer and the inspiration for it and stuff, and he's just like, oh, street art and exploring cities that you've never been to, and blah blah blah. And it's this cool stuff. He doesn't really dig into it that much because it's mostly just a promotional piece about the game, but he's speaking at some sort of game dev fair, I believe. But it's he sure doesn't mention his kid or deceased kid. I'm sorry if anyone here has fallen victim to that exact thing, because, like, I get it. I get why, you see this thing and you go, oh, wow. But there are just things that you gotta investigate. Not only, of course, for the silly stuff, right? You also have to investigate for the more hard-hitting things. Although, Shortline, you provided me with the most excellent news source idea, which is just checking the current events on Wikipedia, just seeing when it updates what's going on. Like, what? How brilliant is that? And you don't have any pundits to spin things for you. And sure, the people who write the Wikipedia articles are going to be biased too, but you can't escape bias in your everyday life. All you can do is think twice about it and try to suss out what is true and what is bent, and it'll all be bent to some degree. Uh, but the yeah, I mean, the whole thing is that you got to dig into stuff as best you can, and even when you see something from a reputable source, you go, well, let me see if there's something that corroborates this, because you never know. You can't just you go all your life trusting a source you believe is reputable, and then you check it out, and it's like, hey, wait a minute, wait, this is not reputable. This is not reputable. What have I been doing? Like, I've been mistaken about XYZ for quite some time. My bad. Um, but the digging into the whys of something and that everything's always twisted brings me to another thing that I kind of wanted to mention, which is the dislike button. Everyone's talked about the dislike button going away. Uh, and I'll come to that in a second, because Shortline, I was in person school, blocked the vast majority of websites, including news sites. Wikipedia was not one of them. It's funny that Wikipedia is the thing that's not blocked. I'm sure a bunch of you guys remember growing up in a school system. Maybe it's still that way, where you got nailed into you. Wikipedia is not a good source. It's not a primary source, and it's not because it was a bad source, but it's because it was not a primary source. It was a source aggregator, and the thing that doctors don't want you to know, the one weird trick, is that you can go into a Wikipedia page and it gives you the sources, and then you can just look the sources up. If your teachers have problems with you looking at a Wikipedia page for your sources, you can still use the Wikipedia page for browsing, and then just use the actual sources at the bottom. But the dislike button is going away, apparently. I mean, there's plenty of backlash surrounding it, so we'll see what actually happens in the end. I checked earlier. It seems like it's still there for me. Maybe it's gone now. But people are talking about why. And one of the things that was posited to me was that, well, it's some sort of censorship. Like, dissent in their site. I mean, some of the most... Oh, that sucks, Mopac. What animals? What sort of people would do that? Yeah, it seems to be still here. I assume if the change is going to be made, it'll be rolled out sooner or later. These things don't happen overnight. But I don't think that's what it's about. And I have a theory. But I'll get to the theory after this, which is that you have long since, and they have long since, had the ability to turn off comments on a video of their, like, I'm saying, as a video creator, I can turn off comments on my videos. I can also turn off, I think I can turn off liking and disliking. I can at least turn off the count. So if it was about hiding the like and dislike count from, like, if they were butthurt about being lambasted on the rewinds and on the other videos, or if they were just trying to silence people talking ill about them, I feel like they could do that much more easily than a site-wide change, you know? And the fact that it's a site-wide change leads me to think that, no, this is something much more impactful that's happening. There's something bigger that's going on, and I suppose I'm not articulating my points quite as well now as I did earlier in a text chat, but my point is this. I don't think YouTube would be changing their site because of something they want to do on their videos. They already had the option to do that, and they still do. And I still do if I really didn't want to hear it. You know, if I didn't want people to say, like, oh, you know, whatever, I think you gave out that point wrongly in Loco Royale, or something like that. I don't necessarily... Well, I mean, there have been some good comment discussions, myself and another fellow, about factor of adhesion lately. But that's, you know, that's an aside. I could shut off comments. I can delete comments. I have all sorts of methods of censorship, and YouTube also has those same methods. I don't think it's about censorship. YouTube removing the dislike button. And it's not the thing. They're not even removing the dislike button. They're removing the dislike counter. As far as I understand, the button is still going to be there. Yes.
So I took all the stuff out of the dollar bag. I untagged them and stuff. I put them all in the hamper so they can be washed.
Okay.
So because I think it's a good idea.
That is a good idea. I love you too. YouTube is trying to be more friendly in corporate sense. Yes. So YouTube's statement. So by and large, I don't believe it's because of censorship. That's my general rationale. I don't think if they're working about shutting down dissent, that's not the way they would do it. Furthermore, on that topic, there is no mechanism for dissent against YouTube. Like, it doesn't exist. There's no YouTube feedback section, you know? You can report videos, and I guess you could just send the support team emails if you really wanted to, but there's no, like, oh, do this if you want to, like, make a statement about how you think the site is, you know? That said, I don't think they've been taking down videos complaining about how the site is. So I really don't think it's corporate censorship, you know? I don't think it's YouTube trying to shut down their dissenters. Shortline, you're kind of nailing it. But why even keep the dislike button if there isn't a count? Well, I'm not sure if it'll reduce the count, I'm not sure if it'll reduce the count of likes, or if we'll still have the bar of the ratio of likes to dislikes. You can still sort of see if a video is mostly disliked or something like that. Just the count won't be there. I don't know if that's a potential reality. I just know that if they're keeping the button, it's going to do something, I would think. All they said is they're removing the counter. I am sort of skeptical of the statement that they made, although I assume there's a granule of truth there a little bit, that the reason they're doing it is because video makers were complaining that it's demoralizing. Uh, Also, I mean, worth saying that video makers still have that option where they can turn off likes and dislikes. But more importantly, if and maybe if that's true, you can have something to complain about. Oh, YouTube's sugarcoating it, whatever. But for the dissenters of that idea, it's like, oh, how will video makers then know? Like, video makers deserve the dislikes. Basically, is a return thought. Well, they may, but at the same time, that's not the only metric to show whether or not a video is enjoyed or not. Better videos will get more views and they'll get more likes. Um, the biggest tragedy is losing that one neutral video where they've balanced the likes and dislikes for years. They should keep it just for that. But I don't. I'm skeptical of that, although I believe that there probably is some sort of truth to it. And maybe it's because they just don't want to see all the dislikes on their own videos, but it's certainly bigger than that, even if that is an aspect. The bigger aspect is something to do with revenue. That's what all of these changes have been based around. YouTube, at its core, is a business, and they're trying to make money. And more, they're trying to make money. They're also just trying to run their website. With the traffic and the storage that YouTube, gets and requires, I know plenty of awful videos that get plenty of views. I mean, maybe you think they're awful videos, but awful videos, if they're getting that many views, there are clearly people that disagree, and it's a lot of people that disagree. There's no such thing as an objectively awful video. So you might think a video is terrible, but millions of people love it. Or a song, So my point is there are ways of showing viewer engagement and enjoyment to a video maker. There are other tools and statistics that a video maker has access to beyond a dislike to like ratio. A view to like ratio, I think, is already used in a lot of places, especially in a lot of social networking sites that don't have dislikes. Which, let's be honest, most of them don't. I can only think of YouTube and Reddit, widely viewed and commented, that get mostly disliked. Yeah, but if you compare them to a video, even then, a video that is similarly viewed, but people like it more, obviously the big elephant in the room is the comments are going to be different, but you're going to get more likes. If a video is liked, it's going to have more likes. If a video is not liked, it's going to be less liked. As long as there's a like count, you can make a metric of views to likes. So, I don't think the losing of the dislike button is a major issue for metrics, although it is a helpful tool to gauge whether a video is good or not at a glance. And I'm sorry if I painted that as a you against the world short line. I just thought, like, videos that you thought were awful that are getting a lot of engagement. But videos that are heavily disliked that still get a lot of views, etc. No, I totally understand where you're coming from. I always feel like I'm accidentally butting heads with you in this. But anyway, the thing is, it's entirely possible that what happened was the advertisers, again, YouTube's only major source of revenue, came to YouTube and said, hey, we're on these videos with all these dislikes. Can you make sure our ads don't run on videos with lots of dislikes? And YouTube said, sure, but YouTube doesn't want there to be fewer ads. They don't want ads to not run on videos with a lot of dislikes. So in order to grant the wish of the advertisers, they just made it so you can't see how many dislikes there are. And now there are not ads running on videos with a lot of dislikes, with a high number of dislikes anyway, because there are no videos with a high number of dislikes. There is no number of dislikes. Uh, yeah, no, and I agree that it's a poor change. And yeah, a lot of people are very valid in their complaint that, hey, this is a useful tool. It's a good way to interact with the videos, at least on the viewer's side. Why are you getting rid of it? And YouTube's answer is sort of, well, the content creators said they want us to get rid of it. And it's, you know, okay, I guess. I just feel like YouTube wouldn't have done that uh, if there wasn't a huge revenue question hanging in the air. Uh, yeah, and yeah, no, it's been. I feel like people that actually made videos should get to see other people's dislikes. Yeah, and it's fair that if you're a video maker, being able to see like, hey, a bunch of people disliked this video. Oh crap, I must be able to do better. Like, that's that can be important, and it's a useful tool, but it's not the end of the world if it's gone. Um, and yeah, I mean, Adpocalypse. Here was another thing. Before I talk about Adpocalypse a little bit, I believe the like genesis of Adpocalypse started with DVRs, and it's something that had not occurred to me before today. But think about it like this: the biggest purveyors, or the biggest, not purveyors, what's the word? Disperser of advertisements that we dealt with in our daily lives and when we were younger is cable television. Cable television. And also the radio, but cable television. A 30-minute show is 22 minutes and 8 minutes of advertisements. A hour show is 44 minutes and 16 minutes of advertisements. It's substantial. It's a lot of time that is dedicated to just ads. And then DVRs came on the scene. And while you could have put a show on a VHS tape and watched it back later and fast forwarded through all the advertisements that way, people weren't going to do that for their day-to-day shows. That said, when DVRs came on the scene, now suddenly, not only could you do this really easily, but the cable company was sanctioning it. The cable company was giving you the device so that you could fast forward through so that you could, of course, record in advance, but then fast forward through the commercials on the shows that you wanted to watch. And I do genuinely wonder what the numbers looked like for ad companies at that time. Did they see a drop-off of, hey Pat, did they see a drop-off of how much they get a return, or how much of a return they get on the money they're putting into their advertising budget? Say, what?
Did you not hear me, or do I need to repeat myself?
You don't need to repeat yourself. You've distracted me. I love you. Say you put $100,000 into your advertising budget and you get $150,000 of revenue in return. That's a net gain of $50K. But DVRs come out and suddenly you're getting a net gain of only $110,000. These are numbers that I completely made up, by the way. So you're still making money, you're just not making as much. And so they go, hey, cable companies, what happened? And cable companies go, oh, hey, we invented this thing called a DVR. It lets you record your shows, and then, like, you can fast forward and rewind. And they go, you can fast forward through the commercials. And cable companies go, yeah, I guess. They go, well, we're not paying you as much for advertisements if people can just fast forward through them, and if that's what they're doing half the time. And the cable companies go, sort of, oops. Okay, yeah, I guess we'll renegotiate this. And maybe there's a portion of the money you pay for your cable box that's set aside to uh, sort of filling in this gap that was made by the proliferation of DVRs. And that started a slow downward trend in the amount of money that you can get from advertisers for an individual ad, because it started a downward trend of how much money you can get back as an advertiser putting out a given ad. Uh, Ads have definitely, the effectiveness has decreased because of the various tools, not because people have changed, but because the tools which people use to interact with the services that serve them advertisements have changed. They've gotten more advanced. And we have, and so just as DVRs probably caused this problem for the cable companies, ad block probably caused the same problem for YouTube. Uh, Not, and there are of course a ton of other factors to consider, like the DVR situation, or the DVR type situation with YouTube, but the DVRs probably started a downward trend in the overall revenue of advertising, and then the we're left with people running ad block on YouTube all the time, and there's a stark drop off in YouTube's revenue. And now the advertisers don't the advertisers don't need to renege because of how YouTube advertisements work. They don't need to go like, "Hey, we're paying you a flat fee to run these advertisements, and excuse me, they're not working anymore. We need to renegotiate," because that's not really how it works. YouTube gets paid individually per advertisement that gets run. Uh, so ad blockers are whatchamacallit. They're not incurring costs to the advertisers, uh, like extra costs beyond the people that are watching the video. But they are. Oh right, I wanted this over here. There we go. They are just getting fewer advertisements viewed. And because they're getting fewer advertisements viewed, YouTube straight up isn't getting paid as much. Uh, and to add to that, advertisers have become more picky, sort of because of it, just because they need to be. Because they need to make sure that they're getting the best bang for their buck out of the advertisements that they're putting out there. So, not every ad is Super Bowl advertisement, and not every ad is going to be shown everywhere, because they want to make sure they're targeting the people that will actually buy their product. I see you, Pat. Godspeed. Have a good day at work. And so it leads to down the rabbit hole of things like targeted advertisements, but also it leads to the adpocalypse, where suddenly ads are making a lot less money. So they need to put more of them out there for the people that aren't running ad block, so that they can make the same, say out of 100,000 views, half the people are running ad block. Now they need twice as many ads to make 100,000 views worth of, well, views. So what do you do then? Well, you got to run twice as many advertisements, and you want them to be effective, and you also don't want them to be on irrelevant things or things that people might give a negative association with. Back in the glory days of advertising, it didn't matter. You could plaster your name on everything. Any press is good press, which is still sort of the case, but any press isn't as much press as it used to be. So now you want to spend half as much on advertising and get, I don't know, 75% of the effectiveness you used to. So you need to make sure that there's nothing negative in there. You need to make sure that there's no accidental, like, oops, this ad got put on like a white supremacist video. Oh well. Or like an ad got put in man, I remember that advertisement for Coca-Cola before the video of the guy that got shot. Oh God. Like, now I'm going to associate those two things. And, I'm sure there's somebody out there going, well, I wouldn't associate those two things. It's, whatever. It's just an advertisement. but people do. Uh, there are certainly people who are sensitive to that sort of thing, and so you're left with a question of, well, now we need to work around this. And so the guidelines get stricter for where the ads have to go, and how many have to play goes up again because they're playing in fewer places. And YouTube is just like, listen, we'll do whatever you want as long as we keep, as long as we keep making money slash being able to run the website. Obviously YouTube pulls in an absolutely staggering amount of revenue on a daily basis and on a yearly basis, but they still do have a website to run. I don't want to paint them as like a, oh, woe is YouTube, this poor gigantic multi-billion-dollar website isn't making enough money. But you don't want them to have to be concerned about their bottom line. You want them to be concerned about providing a good product. And in a post-adpocalypse world, or an ongoing adpocalypse world, it's like COVID, it never ends. YouTube is always going to have to be careful, and they're going to have to be more and more careful because they don't have a choice. The only other choice is moving to a subscription-based model. And Redding, that's a good thing to bring up. They used to have YouTube Red, and now they have YouTube memberships and YouTube Music and other premium subscription services, which is a way for them to make money that isn't via, which isn't through ad revenue. But a lot of people just want to use YouTube for free, and I mean, that's what we came here for, right? YouTube's a free video sharing site. Hooray, hooray. And at the same time, people are saying, well, I don't want to, I don't want to watch the advertisements, so I'm going to put ad block on. How dare they put all the ads on and make all these changes so that they can make enough money? I'm not saying there's a perfect overlap between these groups of people, but I am saying that all of these things contribute to the YouTube we have today, between people religiously using ad block, which I realized since I updated Chrome, AdBlock had come back on this computer, and so I had to shut it off again. Also, I'm not saying that AdBlock isn't useful for some things. It is useful for a pretty good number of websites, or at least the first time you visit a website, you might want to have AdBlock on, especially if it's a sketchy one. Some of the news websites I visit for the podcast, I get a little worried about, and I go, okay, maybe I should keep my ad blocker on. And they're the ones that are like, hey, please turn off your ad blocker so you can use the website. And then I will, 100% of the time. But point is, yes, it helps to be careful. But these are the things to think about when you're thinking about the state of YouTube in the modern era. And also why YouTubers have to do more product placement and sponsorships and stuff like that, because YouTube itself isn't paying out as much anymore, because they're not taking in as much anymore. They can't provide the utopia of content that they used to because of all these ad things. And it's not like advertisers are getting picky because of, because they're getting picky. There's reasons for it. It's because their budgets need to be spent more effectively. There's a bottom line to these things. There's a bottom line to all of this. I think that's what I've been trying to say. This isn't like some sort of social experiment, conspiracy, whatever you want to call it, because they don't want to hear our yammering anymore, and they're just trying to remove useful features because they don't want us to have them. There's 100% a big bottom line question in here, if you ask me. Because, hell, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, YouTube knows that any changes they make, even good changes most of the time, are going to get some form of backlash. They're going to get some sort of like, hey, you idiot, this system was good before, it was fine before, why'd you mess it up, now I'm not used to it. Every time they change the homepage or the subscription page, and the internet just like exploded, or like the orientation of where stuff is, oh, it was better before. Yeah, okay, whatever, you'll get used to it, it's not a big deal. If there were not a reason for YouTube doing some of this stuff, okay, yeah, the UI changes are probably just because they got a new graphic designer, etc. Whatever. There are bottom line reasons for these things. And yeah, Shortline points out that that is a just colossal amount of money. That is, it is an unfathomable amount of money. But you got to wonder, how much is YouTube spending? You know, how much of that revenue ends up being profit, and how much of it just ends up disappearing because, you know, it's just it's a gargantuan amount of money to run the server farms, to run the storage, to run the you know, just the web page as it is. I suppose the server farms encompass all of that, but you get what I mean. Alright, so this is going to be quartz sand. Do I have a quartz sand color? Cobbled square. Oh, no. Bow sand. Wow, that looks terrible. Okay. Point is, YouTube makes a lot of money, but it also costs a lot of money, and all these changes, at least the big ones, are almost universally done with money in mind, because that's what makes the world go around. Imagine if YouTube was just like I mean, I was about to say like tax money to YouTube or something, like a government-funded or taxpayer-funded video sharing site, so we wouldn't have to worry about this stuff. But uh, that's basically what advertising is. It takes a little bit from everybody, but it doesn't take money. It takes time. It takes your time. It takes 2 minutes of like sitting there and watching Shaq talk about Papa John's every day, or before every video, or once every half an hour, or however long your videos are. Yeah. Oh, right, there was supposed to be a road on this side. Okay. I don't know how to get the stuff up here. Let's finish spreading this around. Once this is filled in, it'll make me a lot happier. Oh, you know what I can do? I can add a little conveyor down here that just goes up into the building. Kit bashing. Government. Yeah, no. A government-run social media site. It's a phrase that feels weird on my tongue, and I don't like necessarily the idea of that. But I wasn't necessarily thinking government-run, just government-funded. You know, just so they don't have to worry about the money problem. But it would be interesting to see that sort of thing. I'm sure. As with anything, there are pitfalls into corruption, etc. It's not like being a private entity prevents those things from happening. It just ties it to different factors. You know, maybe YouTube is just horrifically corrupt, and they're just taking all our money, and you know, it takes a fraction of the dollars, and you know, whatever, fat cats are getting richer, whatever you want to say. I don't know. You know, is it because people are money grubbing? Is it because YouTube is trying to stay alive? Who's to say? But I don't think it's some sort of massive conspiracy, and I don't really think it's because video makers said they don't like it. Although, you know, I don't like it either, or I don't like it. I don't like dislikes. Who does? I remember the first time I got a dislike, I was just like, why would you do that? I think I remember posting a comment or saying something like, "Hey, I don't you don't have to dislike it. Just tell me what you didn't like about the video or something." Government funded would be better than government run. Government funded are two different things, evident by our history of our primary interest. Yes, exactly. But you look at even stuff like that, stuff like Amtrak and Conrail. And definitely, there are massive political pressures on these things because they're government funded. And I don't think you can get away from that. And now I know I'm sort of taking a dump on my own harebrained scheme here, but it's just the reality. You okay? I just I just heard her scream. 1 second. I'll be right back. I am judging you. Okay, so 1080p video. Not to dislike his video and then have a 1080p problem was a criminal offense. Okay, anyway, I'm back. She screamed because a creeper blew up the front door of her house. Uh, yeah, what does this building do? Does this building do nothing and we need, yeah, no, we need multiple industries for this. Um, yeah, everything's okay. A creeper blew up the front door of her house. She's playing Minecraft on the PlayStation, and they're switching to creative mode now, and I made fun of her for it. There are people at the USRA designed it to as removed from the government as possible, still being funded by it. Yeah, and that's a good idea. That's smart. Um, happened to me on Halloween. I had, oh my god, the Halloween stuff that Minecraft does sometimes. It cracked me up to see the pumpkins on heads, but I booted up Coggers, which is my mod pack, and just hopped onto the. Actually, the server was down that day, and uh, so Lori and I hopped onto our single player LAN world, and I go over to my railcraft train, and it's like half invisible, and I'm staring at it. I'm trying to figure out what happens. I place down a new cart, and that one's almost also half invisible. This was like the beginning of October, and uh, and so I was just like, oh, I had to Google it. Is what happened, and I realized that the reason it's like that is because it was a ghost train. Because for Halloween, Railcraft made all its stuff ghost trains. Now, I have reached another juncture with that mod pack. For those who don't know it, it's mostly an industrial mod pack with Industrial Craft, Buildcraft, Project Red, um, that sort of stuff. It's got some dungeony things. It's got the like procedural dungeons or whatever it's called mod. It's got infernal mobs for those mini boss fights that they give you basically. Um, it's got Spartan weaponry because that's fun. It's got a bunch of things. It also has Thaumcraft, and the thing with Thaumcraft is it seems a little disconnected from all the other mods. And I was scratching my head as to what to do. It's Thaumcraft 6, by the way. I was scratching my head as to what to do to sort of bring that mod in line with everything else, and I still don't have an answer. I was looking for other add-ons, but they all seem to be various degrees of broken. There were a couple of small add-ons I was going to do, but the main thing that it's missing, let's see, uh, we are over an hour in, so I'm going to get done with this area down here. I think this area is basically done. Let me just go along it, because I don't want to strike it from the register without knowing that it's completed. At least up to the river. Oh, this area is here. This area is here, yeah. It is. This area is... Oh, that's a good question. One second. Anyway, sorry. Sorry about that. I had to answer a question. Let's see. Holes in fields, that's there. Let's just strike Peninsula and Barrier Islands scenery. I think that area is done. Oh, electrical boxes, that's right. While we are here, let me do that. So I know I had one back here. At least I thought I did. I really thought I did. I thought I saw a putty tat. Maybe it's just further into town or something. I could have sworn I put a box. Whoa, that was weird. Maybe I put it over here? Put it by one of these other signal bridges? I really thought I had one. Unless I screwed it up and they no longer exist or something. Oh yeah, there it is. There's one. Okay, so is it just this one? I need to go put this by the, by all of the signal bridges, basically. I'll just do the Gilson Eastern right now. Yeah, the peninsula is done. Not the Tolbrin Peninsula. But, I hate driving past that thing and seeing it blank. Yeah, no, it's good looking now. This one's a little bit cockeyed. Let's fix that. Let's see. Is there another signal bridge down here? No, it's just the off-map signals, I'm pretty sure. Oh, you know what? Let's map display signals. Okay. Yeah, the off-map signals don't count. Those signal bridges right there. This one. I will put it over here by the road. We will be getting these done sooner or later. All those empty spaces. It's good to have that area done, that's for sure. This electrical box, I'd say would be inside, but I'm not gonna bother with that. I'll just put it down here. You could say it'd be inside the station building, but don't ask why it has Russian characters on it. Okay, another one over here. Okay, yeah, that's the one that has it. This is a signal bridge? Yes. Oh, hold on. It's right there. Okay, so I put these on some of the VMR ones, and I forgot it for the Gilson Eastern ones. This I'm going to put up here, actually. Face the road, please. What's your favorite trench locomotive type? Ah, man. I don't know enough of them. I think the prairies are fine. I like the prairies more than I like the 460s for the 1012s. The thing is, I don't like prairies in general, so that doesn't really help anyone. It doesn't really help me decide. I like them better. I like the prairies better. I don't like prairies. But I guess that just shows how much disdain I have for the 1012s as a whole, slash how much disdain I have for the the 10-wheeler 1012s. Baldwin prairies or the Alco ones? I don't feel like I know anything about the Alco ones, so I'm gonna go with the Baldwin ones. If you laid them all out in front of me, I don't know what's wrong with prairies, I just don't like them. I genuinely don't remember why or how that started, but I just became stuck in this thing where I don't like prairies. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I also don't really like mountain types, although there's a reason for that, and it's because it feels weird to me to have fewer axles supporting a firebox than leading axles. I just feel like the leading axles, or the firebox axles, are more important. I'll take a Berkshire over a mountain type every day of the week. I'll admit, prairies are good engines. They're cute engines. There are a lot of great prairies out there. I'm just stuck into this dislike of them. It's no longer my choice anymore. I don't have a reason. I don't have a rhyme. All I know is that I must kill prairies. Well, you know. Alright, spin that around like so. These are the little details that are fun to throw in. We need to figure out what switch stands we're going to use for those, though. The Elka ones are more low slow. Oh, you know what? I saw one in the Royale last night. Um, I think I like the Alco ones a little bit more then. Even though I'm a Baldwin guy. They're moguls with a trailing truck. Yeah, and I like moguls, weirdly enough. Alright, what side am I doing the, I'll do it on this side. Alright, like so. I like moguls a lot. Let's see. We'll do this on the on this side. I realize we're notorious for derailing due to the lack of a back axle. Oh yeah? I mean, I could see that when you want a tank engine, you really want an axle in both directions if you're going to run it at any significant speed over any significant distance, because you need to track better. Sorry about that. Also, the reason my axle rationale is another reason why I really like Adriatics. Also, because they're just weird and unusual, at least in the States. So, having, seeing, like, Adriatics is always kind of cool for me. Let's see, I'll put this over here. I'm sure nobody will crash into that. Okay. Ooh, my neck. Ain't we all, Shortline? It sucks that you're sick. I hope you feel better soon. Let's just put this over here, I guess. Focusing any... Yeah. No, it makes you just want to give up, you know? It makes you just want to lay down and give up and wait for the sickness to be over. I'm glad I have not been, like, knockout sick in a while. I had COVID last year, but it only took me down for a day or two. Thankfully. And I had no long-lasting side effects I can still taste and smell.
Okay.
Okay. So, next thing on the list. Shioto Valley trees. They're also the MP industry settings. I'm really on a scenery kick. I really want to do scenery right now. So I think I'll do some of this for a minute. Well, I'm glad you never had COVID. You weren't stupid like me. And I'll admit I was dumb. I was playing with fire and I got burned, you know? We need to tree all this up. There's so much area that doesn't have anything and needs the trees. We're gonna have to just pave this over and come back to it, honestly. We can watch Falcon 9 Starlink 31 launch tomorrow. Nice. Ping me. What time is that? It's in the morning. Wait, how early? I know there's a delay. I'm hesitating on crossing that because I'm afraid I'm going to forget it. And I know I'm going to have to come back to this later. 131st Falcon 9 launch. Wow. Oh, I'm not going to be awake yet. Never mind. I mean, maybe I could get up just for that, but on the one hand, yay, rockets. On the other hand, it's a Falcon 9. Uh, excuse me. Okay. I'm getting real yawny, guys. I'm gonna hang in there, but I guess I'm getting tired. Okay. We got some trees down. That's good. Because it's warmer. Um, hmm. Yeah, this is like a I'll work on this later thing, but I still feel like adding trees now. Jesus. That's a lot of launches. That's good, though. And a lot of these are reused cores, or are all of them reused cores now? I know that, I assume they're still producing new Falcon 9 cores, but I know that the reusability was a huge part of it, and it's brought the cost way down. Nothing on Starship lately. I mean, they did a test fire recently, but nothing like, you know, serious on Starship lately. All of them are reused. Wow. I'm going to need to come through and do all the grass in these. So I'm going to write down grass and trees. I'm really just in a tree mood, I guess. Just filling these areas in, especially even just going around the edge and doing it like this, just makes me so happy because it means we're getting closer. Waiting for FAA approval. Of course they are. Oh, here's where that road comes out. That's right. Yeah, the FAA as a governing body is really going to need to adapt to the paradigm of frequent rocket launches because it's not something they're used to. It's not something they have like protocol for. Yes. It really does help just the feeling of getting stuff done. Although this shouldn't be like this. This is just a like a pothole valley or like a kettle valley, and there should probably be a way out of here. I should make a way out of here. Well, there's this. Yeah, well, let's see. How does it look up here? Doesn't really matter. So many ones today survived because they went to the Middle East. Yeah, no, the trench locomotives had a hell of a life. Just as a class, they had a hell of a life. Yeah, some of this doesn't really make sense. The way the terrain works here. There should always be a way for water to get out, or else there's going to be a lake. But, you know. Okay, some of this area is done with the grass. That's good. Alright. Just keep filling. Just keep filling. It's amazing my computer hasn't gotten very angry at me yet. It hates Mason Valley a lot more than it hates just like the trees. I don't think anyone's gonna notice. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. But I know now. That's the problem. Uh, the thing about making a route where you care about this stuff is the person you're beholden to the most is yourself. You're not. Nobody's gonna get their drainage or like their environmental civil engineering degree out at you and be like, hey, this drainage doesn't make sense. But me being an engineer and having to suffer through aforementioned drainage classes, like, I know now. I know these things. This is where they intended me to apply my knowledge. I asked the professor, and they said so. Yeah, some of those trench locomotives have been extraordinarily heavily modified. Look how much work we just did. We're getting somewhere, guys. I do need to go back to the spreadsheets today, but this is fun. Control swap to the other side of the engine. I mean, when an engine is in service for that long, it's gonna pick up all sorts of weird modifications. Hell, even even tourist engines like 475 has its controls completely reworked. That's bestie, so that you can run it more easily going backwards. Because Strasbourg does a lot of going backwards, you know. Uh, I think they have, if I remember right, they still have like 2 turntable bridges that they bought, or at least one extra one that they bought to use, um, and didn't, so that they could have the engine turn at both ends of the run. And they were like, "Nah, we're just going all in on this running in reverse thing." Okay, I think I'm getting to the end of the treeing for today. The tree apocalypse. I'm gonna save this. Everyone remembers how it used to crash all the time with the trees. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna save now. Okay. Okay. What is next on my list? So, MV Industries settings. Oh, I need to see if I fix the end of day problem, but we're not going to do that today. That's going to be for. We're going to do some more MVTC automation stuff. Probably next time I have to eat. And the 24-hour test will come after that. So, that's going to take some time. We have all the industries ever to check and edit, but I think what I'm gonna do starting off is start seeding industries, because this is something that needs to be done as well. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. Whew. Yeah, this is where my computer's gonna kick it up a notch because it hates being in this area. And it's gonna hate it more once I put train cars down. I figure it's the most boring part of the stream for a lot of people, but there are also a lot of people who very much enjoy it. Uh, and there's more scenery to do, but we're gonna want to get further on the automation side than just the MVTC testing. So yeah, we've got to start with this stuff. So let me pull up my documents, and we'll see what industries are checked. The Mason Valley ones and these are all consumer industries. Yeah, these are all problematic. The ones up on the hill, because they don't take, or they take not enough stuff. All right, we're gonna change the view now. You're gonna look at my screen. Ooh. Okay, so as you guys know, I won't be able to. Other automation will be more interesting. Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. I won't be able to look at that while I'm doing this. So here's the spreadsheet. We've all seen it before. We have some industries that are getting settled, some industries that are not ready yet. We have Gabbard Signal Company, the cable roll. So this is the thing. We have the cable roll, although I don't think it's here in the commodity balance yet. Oh, this is broken. Great, cool, we broke it. We'll fix that later. We're gonna have to fix all this. Uh, like, just let me highlight this for now. Just come back through here and fix it. The first thing we should do is probably fix this industry here. because it has the flat stock, we know that that is going to cause a problem because it doesn't load enough yet. And I marked it because we changed flat stock, I think. Yeah, we changed flat stock to be 2 in a car instead of 1 in a car. And because that is 2 in a car, it's we have to have 4 minimum. So 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Machine fabric, flat stock, 4, 4. The ideal car for flat stock is... Oops. What have I done? Oh, crap. Where was this? Did I mix this up? Was this in a different place? Railcar balance. No, that was the next thing. This I had not done anything with yet. Commodity balance. Industries, freight cars, and loads. So this was a gondola mill 52-foot railgun. So we're going to need... Let's go up here because it's going to be the first one we do. And we're going to seed this stuff, so that means we need to switch to a different layer. Layers. Seed. I'm dumb. Canal Island Milling. Okay. Again, which industry was this? This was the Machine Fabric. It takes flat stock. Wrong button. Not you. Is it you? That's Machine Fabric, yes. So we can fit both cars here now. So we're going to put 2 cars here. And that's going to be it. That's seated. It's done. It just has 2 empty cars because it's an unloading industry. So it just has a pair of empties. Flat stock. It takes 4 in a day, so we're going to set the max unit to 8. Way build to 100. Sorry, way build to 50. It's going to start with 4. As if it's just been... Oh, crap. Products. Leaders, items. Q. 4 items. Tracks. Flat stock. Unload from vehicle. Q1. And then flat stock, it's going to consume 1 items and the minimum amount of time. So, sorry, the maximum amount of time. So actually, we need the industry calculator. If it's doing 4 productions a day of 1 apiece, time per production is 21,600. So that's a number that we may all be familiar with, but we're going to have to get familiar with if we aren't. 21,600. So, oops, wrong button. Yeah, so it consumes 1 item every, that is 6 hours, is what that is. So it consumes 1 item every 6 hours. Now these 2 are here. If somebody gets a reskin version, I'll be putting those down instead. So that means we can strike this one, at least. Freight cars and, sorry, industries, Machine Fabric, you are good to go. Now, Breckmore Tooling is the next one up. It takes round stock. Wrong button. I'm going to be doing that a lot. Breckmore Tooling is this one. Yes. Wait, why is Machine Fabric above Breckmore Tooling? That's not right. Idiot. There we go. Drag this down. Breckmore Tooling round stock. Now the issue is because this is taking round stock, and round stock can only have a, let's see, has a maximum of 1 probably, or 2. Round stock has a maximum of 2 in mill gondola 52-foot WLNG. So I'm going to close this out for now. mill gondola 52-foot WLNG. Okay, so I'm going to push this as far this way as I can. I assume that will let me unload both of them if I do that. Same thing with this one. So that's going to be 2 carloads. Q1 is going to be round stock, yes. Set initial product amount 4. Oh, we got to do that again. Hold on. Doing it in items is going to be the easiest thing to do. Items. Qs. 4. Size 8. Weigh bill 50%. Tracks. Round stock. Unload from vehicle. Processes. Consume round stock every 21,600. Consume 1 items every 21,600. Okay. So now those are seated. And now this one. Canal Island Milling Company. Which also we can mark off this one now. Or sorry, this one. Breckenmore Tooling. That one's done. That one's good. That one's ready to be operated. Canal Island Milling Co. takes 4 units of lumber. Lumber comes in what? The preferred is the 50-foot flat car PRR, although flat car, my assets in main queue takes 3, but I don't like that one. UP flat car 53-foot takes 3 as well. Either way, we're going to need 2 carloads, so I'm going to go with the preferred, which is the 50-foot flat car PRR. I also think I'm going to extend the siding a little bit because there's not quite enough room to pull them both in, and I don't want to screw up the AI by not having enough room to pull both in. I'll move that as well, and we also have to move this back a little bit. Okay. These 2 are fine where they are. Again, it's an unloading industry, so those are not going to be loaded. Need to get tissues. Oof. So this is lumber. Yes. Lumber. Let's see. We need this to be in units again, so let's just do that, because units are the way we're going to work this thing. Wrong button. Leaders, items. Yes. So, size. 8 items, weigh bill 50. You start with half, which is 4. Tracks, multiple pickup drop-off, lumber, unload from vehicle, processes, consume lumber, make nothing, consume 1 items every 21,600. Cool, so we have some things to switch out. Oh, excuse me. Just can't catch a break this second. That's what happens when you don't shut up. Okay. Railcar balance, we also need to work in things like this. Baggage cars, caboose, cafe, chair dining, RPO, and sleeper. Also locomotives. But I want to break that up into the different kinds of locomotives. Oh, my neck. Oh, my neck. See, this is useful, but not as useful as it could be, this tab here. Notice it's empty because I never filled it out because I didn't know everything I needed to do with it yet. I still don't. The thing is, it would be easiest if we filled it in industry by industry instead of doing it all at once. because then we're going to have to go around the map looking for stuff. So really we need to figure out what we're doing with that tab first, and then sort of go from there, I guess. The thing is, it's dependent on the commodity balance, which, like I said, I broke. Although, you know what, I'll just clear this out. Right? These aren't formulas, these are just numbers. Goodbye. Yeah, these are broken. Yeah, we've got to fix all these anyway, so. Bye. Oh, right, because it no longer is called that. 1 second. General goods. Oh, hey, we did use VLOOKUP for that. General goods. This. We also need to paint it. Like so. There we go. This, I just need to replace it with something else. We don't have anything to do it. We don't have anything to use it. Maybe we'll use it later. But I have other cars that do the brown canvas covered load. And minimum is going to be 4 anyway, so that's not helpful. So currently, we have 3 industries that we've set up that we know are good. That's round stock, flat stock, and lumber. So we don't even have them in here. So we need, it is round stock, not a capital. Round stock. Show me the money. There we go. Flat stock, which is FL up here. And that is, oh, capital S also. And lumber, which we definitely do have. So I'm gonna mark these off: round stock, flat stock, and lumber, because we're gonna be going through every single industry we have and clearing it up. So, supply and demand, get rid of all that. Yes, yes. So yeah, carloads and commodity. Carloads produced and consumed. See, the thing is, we have it broken down as commodity, and then carload, and then commodity again. But this is almost like a gigantic rounding mechanism. So flat stock is consumed by, you know what, I could probably have, I bet you I could do a formula for this. And it'd have to be like an add if, or like a sum if. Sum if, a conditional sum across a range. There we go. Sum if, range criterion, sum range. The range should be summed if from a different range. Perfect. Okay, so sum if, range. So the range is going to be commodity. Yeah, you know, it's just going to be the K column. It's going to be the K column. Wait a minute. Gosh darn it. Sum if. Doot. Nope, still broken. Can I please, like, select the thing? Argument must be a range. Use the arrow keys to select a range. Learn more about range selection. How do I click onto a different thing with it? Because normally it just does this automatically. Sum if. Okay, I see the little space bar there. That means it should work, right? Yes. Sum if industries KK criterion. Oh, you know what? I want to make sure that doesn't, this doesn't move. Although I don't think it will. I'm going to do that. That's to keep it from moving. Criterion is this, which that should not move. Well, the column shouldn't move. The row should. Some range would be the current, so M. Yes. Yes. Okay, let me double check that that's right, because that will make our lives and the manual data entry thing so much easier. Okay, so we have lumber here. That's not right. Carloads, 6. Wait a minute. 2 carloads. Where are you getting 6? How are you getting 6? If it's... Oh, this is flat stock. I was looking at lumber. Jesus Christ. Okay. Although this is supposed to be carloads, not that. Okay, so it means it's got to be divided by this. And again, we need to lock the column. We need to lock the Casbah. Okay, so that makes sense. 3 carloads of flat stock in total. That's not good because it's an odd number, but I think it's right. So flat stock, this is 2 carloads worth. Where is the other flat stock? Right there. That's one. That's one. No, that's not right. That's not good. Okay. Oh, because this is capital, this is lowercase. Hold on. Is it capital or is it lowercase? It's lowercase. I've been doing that wrong the whole time. Okay. So, flat stock, lowercase. And then we'll go over here and we'll write flat stock, lowercase. That's the same. Industries consumption per day. It should be getting this one, which is 4. Was this one, which is 1. Oh, it's right. It is right, and it's not case sensitive, it turns out. Flat stock, flat stock, flat stock. That in total is 6. That in total is 6. That's correct. Sorry, I mismathed for a second. Can you make a shunting yard? Blah, blah, blah. All cities that don't exist yet. One of the towns. Hello. Hey, Stellar. Okay, so this actually works. I'm going to spread this out to the other ones. Oh, something's broken. There's a divide by 0 error in there. Which means that this is our supply and demand. We're going to go through and check all this stuff anyway. Yeah, hello, towns that don't exist yet. But we have to, while we're here, let's make the one for this one, which Industries KK. Lafayette's getting yelled at. Industries KK. So this is going to be Industries DD. D. Oops. D. DD, get out of my lair. FF. That's the other one. F. Okay. So, oh, whoops. Let me fix that real quick. Let's just do it from here so that we don't accidentally drag it around. And then I'm going to put this down here. There we go. Give a top border. Okay. So all these commodities all these quantities are tentative, but for now, this should update totally on its own. So we don't need this anymore. We don't need this highlight anymore. As long as everything is named exactly. That is going to be the biggest problem. Hi, Lafayette. Hi, good boy. Hi. Hi, good boy. Hi. What a good boy. Apparently he's not a good boy. He was going through Gloria's purse. Come here. Come here. You weren't a good boy. But I still love you. I still love you. Yes. Ow. Ow, you bit my ear. Hi. This is the obligatory dog break. Hi. Hi. Hi, thank you. Yes, thank you. We're just going to take a second and hang out with the dog until at least I can see him on the screen. You're a good boy. Sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. Alright, put you down. Okay, dog break is done. Let's get back to work. So, sum if, that's a good formula, it's a helpful formula. Oh, and he's gone. Overall goods balance. Equals E16. Oh, right, because that's totally broken, huh? Because the general goods thing is also broken. Okay, I need to fix that while we're here. General goods out. And then I also need to fix it over here. Okay, so that's doing it right. General goods out, box. And these are, yeah. That one is fine. We need the in crate one, which is this one. Part of me wants to just always tie back to that because a typo is going to give us all sorts of headaches. We won't even know it's a typo until stuff just isn't adding up. Okay. Yeah, so 4 is the minimum. We need to fix this one, but whatever. So, Mason Valley coal transfer, we don't know. We don't know. Cooper lumber is probably just going to take 4. So let's get that one out of the way. The ones up here are seated. 4 is lumber, so it's going to be these cars again. This is actually going to be a difficult one because of the length of the siding. But whatever, we're going to have to deal. I don't know how far up on it the train's AI is willing to go. So I'll just pull it out as far as possible. Pull it right into the creek. Wrong thing. Right into the drainage ditch. So remember, I know a thing or two about drainage. Okay. Let's hide this for a minute. Good news, my math exam, I got an 88. Good job. Good job, Graham. Okay. So this one needs to be done as well. So those cars are there, that's good. Cooper lumber. We need to set this one up for lumber. Lumber. Yes. Size 8. And again, we need to switch this to units or items. Lumber, 4 items to start with. 8, way bill 50%. I don't know what the way bill actually affects. I'm sure there are people out there smarter than I that know what that does. Unload from vehicle. I know way bills are a thing, but I don't know how it affects a scenario. I consume 1 item every 21,600. I'm also going to switch back to just looking at the screen because I think it will help performance just a little bit, just a hair. You guys won't have to see yourselves in the corner. Alright, so that's one more industry to strike off here. I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. We are farmers. Bum, ba, dum, bum, 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 bum. Let me double check this. Lumber should have changed. Oh, I didn't even see what it was before, so I'm going to assume that it's fine now. The Gabbard Signal Company is probably the next thing to do, because that's going to be a little bit more work. So this is going to be just 1 car of the cable roll, as we established. So, yep, because it's 4. We need to put it in the industry balance, HIJKL. So cable roll is here. Should find that no problem with the VLOOKUP. Shouldn't find anything for that. Shouldn't find anything for that. Quer to Dutchum, blah blah blah. Industries, we're just going to do 4 and 4 for max and current, and that shows up as 1 carload demanded, which is correct. The cable roll goes in which car? I believe it's the mill gondola. We scroll over. Again, I know I'm not showing you guys this. 482, so that is, yeah, the gondola, mill, 52-foot railgun, 12. Gondola, mill, 52-foot railgun, 12. So we're just going to park that right there. I know that's kind of disappointing for such a long siding, but whatever. I'll pull it back past that just for... No, I won't. I want to leave it in a place where it's obvious where you need to drop the stuff off. Q's, Q1, cable, there it is. We want units, as always. Items, 8, waybill 50%. Start with 4 items, which is 4 units. Unload from vehicle, processes. I've seen a lot of commercials. We started this thing off talking about commercials. 21,600. So every 6 hours. Awesome. Okay. So that thing's half full. I'm not touching this right now. This is still perplexing me. I'm not touching this right now either. This, I think, was going to be difficult, or it was acting difficult, because well, let's see, Harrison Switzer Milling. What are you supposed to take, according to the spreadsheet? Which is... What is this one named? Just Harrison Milling Company. Oh, it takes flat stock. And so, if it takes 4, that's 2 mill gondolas. Okay, and we're going to need to get real close in here to click on this. Flat stock, Fiat 600, size 8, waybill 50. Oh, right, hold on. Let's just do that for the moment, and then I will switch this over to units. That should fix it, yeah? Yep. Okay, multiple pickup drop-off, flat stock, unload from vehicle, processes, take the flat stock. I'm glad the bug with this is fixed. 21,600, consumes 1 item. And we're going to slide to the left. There we go. How would you unload flat stock on a railgun in here? I don't know, but you know what? That's not my problem, that's theirs. We're gonna have to... What did we figure out for... I gotta do this one today, I think. I think that's our hurdle, that's our end of day. There are 2 that are gonna be perplexing me. Or sorry, 3. This one, and this one. So the 3 big mills here are gonna be the ones giving me problems. You know what? Because people will probably get upset if I don't do it right now, let's do monkey bananas. You didn't do monkey bananas, people will say. Monkey bananas is supposed to take probably a pallet of bananas. So, let's see. Monkey banana is limited. Oh, it just takes fruit pallet. It's not specific enough. It just takes fruit pallet. It takes 70 fruit pallet. Okay. Fruit pallet. There it is. We're going to do units, as always. The size for this is going to be 140 because it accepts 70 at a time. So set initial project amount 70, waybill 50. Tracks, you're going to unload from vehicle. Processes. This one is the tough one. because we need to consume exactly 70. So I need my math. I need my calculator. We need to consume 1 carload per day. There are 70 units per carload. If I do 10 units per production, no, that's not it. That's not good. Oh wait, sorry. Carloads per day, 1 carload, 70. Time for production, units per production, 18 units per day. 8. Oh no, that's 72. Darn it. 2100. 21,000. No, I need to do it like this. I need to get it. I need to nail it. I need to get it right. Carloads per day, 1. 70 units per day, 70. 70. Oh, crap. Okay. We're going to have to play with this for a minute. And you guys might be a little bit more understanding than I am. So I'm gonna flip this over to this for a minute. We need to make sure both of these numbers are even. Time for production. 11. 12. 13. No. So adjusting the units isn't going to do it. What goes into 70, though? 35 does. But it needs to be smaller than 35. What's half of 35? Well, we can't do that. 70... What are factors of 70? Factors of 70. 1, 2, 5, 7, 10, 14, 35, and 70. Okay. What about 14 then? 14 units per production. There we go. We need to pick a factor. You need to pick a factor. Okay, and that's fine. So that means if you have if your time for production is 17,280, how many you're consuming at a time? 14. And that's what, 5 per day? That's 5 per day. Okay, yeah, because 14 times 5 is 70. Okay, sweet. So now we need to set this up. Multi-consumer product, consume fruit pallet. Consume 14 at a time. And your duration is 17,280. Okay, cool. Although, should we prioritize... should we prioritize... What if I do 5 units per production? No, that won't do it. You need to have 14. But 14 times 5 is... whatever. Oh, because the time is not perfect. So that lets us nail it. Yeah, and the next one down was 5, right? Oh, it was 10. But we figured out we couldn't do that. So the next one down is 5. We figured out we couldn't do that. And 2, we couldn't do either. So yeah, you want the lowest number that gets a round number. So it's 14, and it's 17,280. So there we go, monkey bananas. Hey, Matt. Now we need the boxcar for it. Monkey Bananas Limited from the boxcar. Which, let's flip over here to Industries. Oh, sorry, Fruit Pallet. Freight Cars and Loads. Fruit Pallet. Starts with an F. Since we're doing all this stuff, I can reset that now. Fruit Pallet. What is the number 1 car for this? Well, it's not that one. It is that one. PFE R10 or R40-2. Just something I had built in. Or I believe it's at least the download station. Which one was it? Oh, I had the early one. That's fine. Makes no difference. And that one's going to be empty. So there we go. PFE reefer early. Now at least we can switch that out. Okay. That's one more to knock off the list. Commodity balance. Although, I forget, we were supposed to be doing the railcar balance as well. And we didn't. Because I wanted there to be a tab for how many cars we start off with. But the thing is, it doesn't matter how many cars we start off with, as long as the balance is even. We will have enough for everything because of the way we're staging these industries. Ow, I bit my lip. At least, for the most part, we'll have enough for everything. This is actually a difficult thing to figure out, and this is, I'm sure, what puzzles the proper logistics people of the world, is what's the fewest number of cars we can have, but still manage to do all this stuff? Because I am sure that every car is going to do more than... There are cars that may do more than one movement in a day. Well, possibly. I guess not, really. Except on passenger trains, maybe. I guess that's what I'm worried about. So if we don't have the exact number of cars, as we do moving commodities, then we'll have an issue where a car will have to do more than one thing in a day, or we'll have leftovers, which is not a problem, but a car will have to do more than one thing in a day, which isn't necessarily wise. So I guess the railcar balance is fine the way it is, as long as we keep track of what's moving. Anyway, I digress. It will help us keep track of empties, it'll make sure we move enough empties. Anyway. The cable roll quer to Dutcham is not working. It's not showing up. Why not? Why not? Oh, it is. I'm sorry. It's right here. It's that one. Stupid me. This tab is fine the way it is for now, because we're not moving anything yet. We'll come through and figure this out later. Once we've got all the industries nailed down, we can come down and figure that out. I can mark this as fine. I can also mark Harrison Milling Company as good. I can mark Monkey Bananas as good. Okay. Coal transfer has big question marks. It's... The thing with the coal transfer, does the coal transfer work if it's empty? That's a good question. We need to check this one out. Because if it doesn't work when it's empty, that's good, and if it does work, that's kind of a problem. I don't... Okay, so it is the same, so that would make sense. I assume... Well, why is it initial amount of coal is the same no matter what? That's a little strange. Although maybe it means that it just won't... Yeah, I guess I can see why that would make sense. Huh, okay. This is an odd one, actually. We're really going to have to rack our brains about that one right there. This one is also going to be tricky. Let's see, are there any industries over here? No, there's the old mill. That's not an industry. There are these things, which I said was going to do general goods. There's this, coal siding. I think I said this was going to be like 10 carloads, but we never put the 3-foot gauge coal car in here. We need to find it now because I deleted it. Okay, where is the show search filter? Dump. Oh, dump. Okay, side dump. No. Wooden flat car. hopper. I know I have it because I have to have it. I downloaded the route. EBT hopper. Ooh, we have EBT hoppers. How do we get these? Oh, these were downloaded. And these are coal. These are dedicated coal hoppers. This actually kind of makes sense. So, if we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because they don't all have to be stacked up here. They just all have to exist. And honestly, some of these places with not enough siding space, I could put the extra car over in the yard, which would make a lot of sense. And in fact, I'm going to have to do in a lot of places. But I can reorganize these cars however I want later. They just all have to be here, and I'm putting them at the industries to represent the fact that they're done. So, yeah, let's do 10 carloads into a barge over the course of a day. I'm not sure if that's reasonable or not. You guys can tell me whether that's crazy. Monk Banan. Release. Good night. Yeah, so this is going to be an interesting one. This is the MV coal dock. Q1. Coal. Do I have the coal dock on my industry spreadsheet? Let's see. So consumer, MV coal. No, I don't. I don't have the coal dock. Mason Valley coal dock. It's going to have to be here. Now I'll delete this. Delete cells, shift cells. Delete cells. Delete cells and shift up. Shift up. Pull up. Oh, these are no longer lined up like at all. I believe I have messed up. Downtown Olive, I need 3 more spaces here in Downtown Olive to line it. Idiot. To line everything up. Right? Or do I need 4? Delete cells, shift cells up. I do need 4. But now what am I missing on the other side? Then that is the new question. The idea is just to make sure I know where I'm looking with all this stuff, and now I'm confusing myself further. We don't have the GERR mainline stuff on here at all. So that needs to get thrown in. I got real lazy with this at one point. Delete cells and shift up. Oh, and I made an extra one by accident, I guess. And I definitely screwed something up now that because these are all not lined up because I was not paying attention. Crap. Okay, gotta move this stuff. Okay. All this pain just to line some things up. Delete cells and shift up. Are they lined up yet? Nope. Something's not right. The question is, do I continue with this or do I just delete all the empty rows and call it a day? Because it's getting out of hand. There are so many empty spaces. You know what? I'm just going to delete empty rows and call it a day. Delete cells and shift up. And I will fill in the gaps later if necessary. Delete cells and shift up. Delete cells and shift up. Ooh, cells and shift up. Delete cells, shift up. Delete cells and shift up. We're going to have to slide the other thing down. Same deal. We'll do some pruning over here. But that was the only open spot. Oh, there's one right here. Which means that I've got to shift all this stuff down to, let's see, right there. Yep, right there. I mean, that makes sense. I think the other version also made sense, but it gave me a lot more extra space. Like, wasted space. Alright, yeah, so everything here is still a mess. Okay. Where were we? We needed to put in the coal dock. And that brings us back to this. Alright, let's just slide this down. Oop, there we go. Olive, Mason, Valley, coal dock, coal. And what do we have here? So we have 10 carloads. Am I still coming through okay? Yes. We have 10 carloads. These cars are how big? The cars have 27... Oh, we need to include this in the thing. Hold on, 1 second. This is going to be a mess, but whatever. EBT_hopper. I know I have another hopper that I would rather use for this, but I cannot find the darn thing. It's a side dump hopper that's wooden. I just don't know. I don't know where it's gone. I want to see if I can find it really quick because I'm sure it can carry other things. I know those aren't it. I don't even know why I'm clicking on them. There's this air slide hopper. That's nice. I think I remember needing that for something. Let's see. What if I just punch in 36? 36. 36, flat car. No, maybe I don't have it. Hold on. Let's do some looking. Show launch window. Manage content. Let's see. Download station. We'll punch in a couple of keywords. Like 36, hopper. Because there was a certain one I wanted to find. Oh, that doesn't work. Coal hopper BD. That isn't it. Coal hopper side dump TRS sounds right. I'm going to download that. Okay, what else? NG36 hopper. That's cute. Wood chip hopper, CSX. No, that isn't it. The Rock. Who can say no to the Rock? I already clicked on that one. Oh, there's Green Gorge. Yeah, that's the same difference to what we have right now. .36 coal hopper BD. Yeah, that's that one. That's the Gilpin one. And then these are not downloading. Oh, those are nice. I think I want to try these. I'll download this one just to see what's up with it. Let's see. This is the one. This is the one I was thinking of. Oh, it's got Lincoln pin couplers. I never noticed that before. This one also only does coal, so it's not an advantage to have this over this, because I thought it might also do wood chips. Let's try this one. Does this carry anything other than coal? Oh, wow. Yeah, these are really useful. This carries only 6,000, though. So I'm definitely not going to use this right now, but I will use it in the future. So these are the cars for coal. That's for damn sure. EBT_Hopper. Let me just... Yeah, that's it. It's just EBT_Hopper. Cool. Let's add another freight car to our repertoire. Hi, probably Matt. Yes, here. Oops, wrong button. Select all of these. Insert 3 columns to the left. Then drop down a line right there. That one's probably fine. Units queue item. Merge in center. And then we'll do EBT_Hopper. I knew that was coming. Although everything else is not centered, is it? But whatever. EBT_Hopper. Just coal. That's it. Where are you? There you are. Why am I thinking that it's lowercase for some reason? It's not. Coal. C-O-A-L. EBT Hopper. So right here, we need this formatting. And the issue is, how do we do the logistics for narrow and standard gauge? That's a trickier problem. Let's see, just 1 second to glance. 27270, 27270. Q0, item 0. That's the only thing in this hopper. Okay. The issue is, this is carload for standard gauge, and it's gonna screw it up. We're gonna need to add another variable here. We're gonna need to add another variable here, and that is a huge problem. Honestly, the only thing I can think of is that we treat it as a completely separate commodity. And that might be what we have to do. Oh, another important thing. We will have to treat it as a completely separate commodity. That would probably be the easiest solution. Another thing, before we come back to this. We did this over here, right? We know we have cars on the standard gauge that can move this stuff. Do we have cars on the narrow gauge? Let's see. 36. No. We definitely don't right now. Let's find out. Let's try to find one. Buzzard Valley Railroad boxcar. Cool. Gory and Defeated, Turtle Creek, 36-foot boxcar. I'm surprised I'm not seeing Green Gorge boxcar. That's legal. Okay, let's just download Tip Canoe and Tyler boxcar number 2. 36-foot supply boxcar. 36-foot. Oh, that's 36 foot. I just want a very generic one. Okay, hold on. What is this? Download that. This looks nice. Oh, it's a 36-footer. Oh, it's also 36 foot. 36. I need 36-inch boxcars. So let's just do the Buzzard Valley without the bird. Wow, that is about as generic as you can get. Nope, nothing. Okay. Buzzard Valley Railroad, no bird. Cool. This is good. This is what we're using. Buzzard Valley Railroad boxcar, no bird. Copy that. Back to freight cars and loads. So 3 columns left. Copy this stuff. And of course, let's get some boxing. We also need to drag down the... Oh, right. The boxing don't even belong there. I don't know why I did that. Delete that. And then put it on this side and this side. That's it. Oh, and on the bottom of this. Let's just put that in a box. Okay. We need to fit this one in. We'll come back to you in a second. So I'm going to mark you yellow because I just thought of something that I need to do, which is fix the... Oh, yeah, there it is. Fix this problem. Like so, and like so. Again, with the, when I notice these, I'm going to fix them. There's another one. Alright. We need to put this one in, and we do need to treat this stuff as a different commodity. Which means I need different rows for it. Which means this thing I just put in is not helpful. Insert one row. I want to insert one row above. Coal, NG. Okay. Yeah, we're going to have to treat it as a different commodity. Everything in brackets is stuff that's added by yours truly, so... Let's check on the comments real quick. Who's talking? Yes, it is you. Wooden side dump car, yeah. Yeah. Man, I didn't realize that that was going to be so much of a problem. Coal dock, coal, and G. Oops. And eventually we're going to have to change that to 3NG in case we add 2 foot. I don't intend to, but I will label it 3NG for now. Or should I just make it 36 for 36-inch gauge, in case for whatever reason I end up adding Cape gauge or something like that. Just put 36NG, and it's getting longer. You know, I'm just going to name it. I'm just going to call it NG. We're just going to call it NG. I don't... We're just going to call it NG. I just had a long internal conversation with myself about what happens if I do add 2 foot gauge. I don't want to think about that right now. We'll call it narrow gauge or something. Which means we need a new row for this. This is honestly less painful than I expected it to be. Coal and G. But I'm glad we figured out how to make that work. Let's see. Okay, that works. Push this down. Coal and G. We don't need to worry about this side of things yet. Coal NG. Let's see. Coal dock, maximum 10, current 10. Oh wait, sorry, this is not carloads. So it's going to be 10 times 27270, right? Gosh darn it. 272700. 272700. Alright. Now, commodity balance should show that coal NG as 10 car loads in. Yes. Excellent. I like how it always shows me that when I tab over to that. I like how I had to look up that. Oh, we've only got one person left. Oh well, we're coming to the end of the stream here in 20 minutes or so anyway, and it's just been me doing spreadsheets. Okay. Coal NG. Let's sort this industry out. So products. We're gonna do units as always. 272700. Oh, I can't put more than 100. Hold on. What is 272700 times 2? Oops. There we go. 545 4 545400. Weighable 50%. 272700. 10 car. 272700. Whatever, I guess we have one extra. Why is it not 1-to-1? That's bizarre. There must be some sort of rounding error in here somewhere. Okay, tracks, multiple pickup drop-off, coal, unload from vehicle, processes, consume coal, and we need to consume a lot of coal. We need to consume, so 10 carloads per day, 272700. Okay. I don't know if this induces some sort of lag, so I'm cagey about setting it this low. But that is a round number at least. Oh, that's not a round. What? Wait, what? Is this really? Oh, right, because of how numbers work. And time. Numbers and time. Units per production. Let's try 100. Wait, what? Oh, it's the same. I don't want it to be under 30 seconds. I feel like that could be bad. So, maybe like every hour. This would be every 6 minutes. Oh, crap, we don't want that to be wrong. Oh, right, we need to fix the units per day. Oh, we need to make that 27270. So that's not right. That's not good. 102. 104. We're getting closer. 105. 107. Oh, no, that's not right. 106. Yeah. Okay, let's just start from the bottom. 2. That's too many. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. There's no like indication that we're getting close. 14, 15, 16, 17. I need an even factor of this, don't I? So 10 carloads. Factors of 27, 27, 27 to 70. Okay, let's go from the top. 13's, oh wait, we need minimum 4. So 54, 54, oh wait, no we don't, because this is more than one carload. Wait a minute. Why haven't I tried that? 27, 20, 27, 27, 0. Oh. Okay. Consume 27, 27, 0. Consume an entire carload of items every 8640 time units, which is seconds. There we go, we nailed it. We did it, we saved the city. And now we've got 10 cars there waiting to be picked up. Fantastic. Okay, so that's one more to mark off the sheet. Have you guys figured out this is going to take a while yet? Because it's going to take a while. Once we get these industries done, we can start automating more things. I know you guys are happy to hear about that. By you guys, I mean presumably just Matt, who is still here. I assume we're at the end. We're not at the end yet. We've still got like 25 minutes. Oh, cool. The only person left was Redding, who wasn't even here. Sad face. Well, David Mitchell, if you can find a news article about that, it'd be appreciated. But, you know, train wrecks are kind of mundane. That's the issue with them. So it's taken in coal, and we should see that here. Yep, that's the narrow gauge coal. Let's see, what's the next one? What else can we do? These are all the metals recycling ones. Monkey Bananas is done. The manufacturing one I don't know what to do with yet. The goods one I can't do yet. Really? What other ones are left? This coal siding. That isn't even entered, that coal siding over there. Yeah, everything to do with this, everything to do with this, everything to do with this, which are things I don't want to touch yet. Is there anything else? There's the log transfer, but we can't calculate that yet. I suppose we could put in a maximum for these things. Yeah, we could make them operable and not, like, you know, whatever. Oh man, but do I want to do that right now? Well, let's enter the other boxcar anyway. We know we have to do that. You have pallet of stock feed bags, hay bale, general goods, and general goods. Okay. So the first thing is pallet of stock feed bags. I'm not sure we have that one. Pallet of stock feed bags. Pallet of stock feed bags right there. Although, this is an narrow gauge car, so it needs its own row. Pallet of stock feed bags. How many can this thing carry? Max load of 10. And 0, 0. 10, 0, 0. This is the only car with this, so we're going to do this. As we know, pay special, format only. And now the next thing. Thank God this car is not as heavy as the other one. Hay bale. Hay bale, NG. HI. Yep, we have hay bales. And this is just things that you can transfer back and forth, because these are the items that are definitely on both things. both standard and narrow gauge cars. So these are items that we can transfer back and forth. Speaking of which, you need to put in the log car. That also would help. Pallet of stock feed bags. Third thing, item number 2, is the general goods crate version. Down here, G. General goods in crate. And then NG. I'll put a wall on that side. General goods in crate NG. Let's paste formatting if we can. Paste special. Oh wait, no, sorry. Formatting is gone. Paste special, format only. So this is 1002. I also can get rid of this highlight since I'm working on it now. That was just a note to myself. And then the other one, general goods out box. Insert one row below. God dang it. Oh, goodness. Look at all these. If I don't fix this, it turns into a hell of a mess over time. Oh, and there's another pair of them right here. And more. There's more. But wait, there's more. And more. And more. And more. And more. And more. And more. Okay. Okay. Double okay. This is basically the same thing except it's got a 3 on it. And you equal that. And you equal that. And I will grab this and write NG on the end of it. And I need to stop doing that. Okay. Outbox, in crate, NG, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we have this one done. This one is officially entered into the doodad. I can delete it for now. The other thing we need is a log car, and I think... do I have a 36 flat car? Probably not, because apparently I don't have anything for narrow gauge. Oh, I do have a flat car. Hold on. I can carry 3 logs. And can carry a whole bunch of other logs, and also camp goods, 16-foot lumber stack, and log equip. So, I don't know what exactly would be... I don't know how much this would be used, I'm going to be honest. I genuinely don't know. Because the whole thing with it is the standard gauge produces a lot of logs. The narrow gauge will also produce a lot of logs. So I don't really see a lot of utility for this, but I really wanted to throw it in here. So I don't know what to do with it right now. That's why I'm hesitant on setting it up. This we won't know until we have to figure out some balance for something. But at least I've got a flat car, and since we're in the mood, I guess let's throw this into the list as well. So this is 36 GAF flat car TRS V4. Which means it's probably going to be at the beginning here. Oh, it's almost at the beginning. 3 columns left. Oh, what? What was that? Oh, I know what that was. There. And go down and delete everything here. Every problem that has been caused by my existence. So, emergence center, 36 GA, flat car, TRS V4. Yeah, no, I'm having to put in all the narrow gauge cars now. Units, Q, item. And these are all gonna be narrow gauge commodities too. So new rows for all of them. Lumber is the first one. L for lumber. Right here. Let's copy this. Let's paste the format. It can hold one. Next thing. General goods. At least I don't have to make a new one for these. This is the box version. General goods, it can hold two of these. Yay! This is a blue one, right? Or a green one. Wait a minute, which one is which? No, blue is preferred. So this is an alternate. Absolutely an alternate, because it can only carry 2 instead of 10. Okay. Alternate of general goods box. Narrow gauge. A special format only. So this is 2 Q1 item 0. We also should have crate general goods. Whoops. Oh, the next thing is logs. This is a max load of 3. Regular old logs. HIJKLOGS logs right there. Insert one row below. Get rid of that. Insert cells. Oh, sorry, paste special format only. Nope, wrong format. It can carry 3 of them, and it's in Q2 item 0. So this is the preferred railcar for logs in the narrow gauge. If I get like another car for just logs later, I might be doing that instead. So logs NG. Saxet nitrate. Excuse me? I think we needed this for something, right? SAC. Wow, okay. Is it a capital N or not? Get rid of that. Saxet nitrate with a capital N. How many of these can you carry? 2. 2. 0. Oh, sorry. This is Q4, right? Or Q3? This is load number 3. 3, 0. Then we want to make it purple and bold. Purple and bold. Purple and bold. And then we want to equals that. Go on down the list. 16-foot log set, NG. Oh, right, this needs to be NG. 16-foot log set, all the way at the top. I missed. 16-foot log set. Oh, Matt was highlighting it for me. Thanks, Matt. Hey, I didn't screw it up that time. Okay, 36 GAF flat car. How many can you carry? I assume just, oh, 3. Okay, 3. This is queue number 4. 4, item 0. I should be able to paste the format still. Yep. Okay. I could probably do some fun with conditional formatting too to get that to work. 60-foot log stack. Another one. This is Q5. And it's also, I can only carry one of it. U, NG, NG. There we go. We're going to polish this off and then end the episode. Camp goods, NG. Camp goods, CA, which means it would be here under C beams. Camp goods. Camp goods, it can carry what, one, I assume? Oh no, it can carry three. Cool. 3, Q, 5, 6. 6. Did we put in 5 properly? Hold on. Oh, we did. Okay. Just making sure. Just making sure. And I think this is the last one. Oh no, sorry, 2 left. One is 16-foot lumber stack. 16-foot lumber stack. Underneath this, oh sorry, yeah. Insert 1 row below. Thank goodness this doesn't violently screw up all of my other formulas, because I could totally see it doing that. 16-foot lumber stack. And that is the clock telling me it is time to round up the stream. But this is Q7. And finally, log equip. Back down to L. Log equip. So 1 row above. Log equip. Oh wait, log equip NG. And this is what? 1 or 3? 3. And this is Q number 8. Okay, so we have entered a narrow gauge car, or we have entered several narrow gauge cars that we can use now. So that tedium is over. The issue is, next episode we need to figure out how some of these industries work, I think. Again, some of these we won't know until we get there, but we can at least remove the question marks and leave the current things just so that everything works. Just so that everything's there. Also, we do need to expand our scope to not just Mason Valley. This industry checking needs to be done for the entire route thus far. So it's a good thing we're doing it now and not later. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Under Construction. I'll flip back over to that so you don't have to see the Tunnel of Doom. Now we'll see you next time. This is the Admiral, signing